Hey, Spiritual Girls in a Material World with Kelly Sullivan Walden and Nancy T starts now.
Welcome to Spiritual Girls in a Material World, where we celebrate the bling, the ka-ching, and the mystical in everything.
Yay!
Okay,
That's us.
that's us. Okay, so Nancy's Wi-Fi wasn't working so good today, so she's trying to find all these remote locations, and this is a good one. This is cute, except she's having to hold the camera. But hey.
So if I start to have this look on my face like, that just means I'm getting carpal tunnel before your very eyes.
Don't get carpal tunnel before my very eyes.
Okay. Never seen anyone get carpal tunnel. When it happens, this will be the moment. I'm just going to go like this with my wrist for a minute and we can continue. Okay.
I'll do it with you. We'll join in solidarity. Okay.
All right.
So I know a couple episodes ago, you shared your wiki dream. And I thought I would share a dream with you, partly because I think there's some value in it, I think, for everybody, not just me. But I'd love to get your take on this. Want to hear?
Yeah. Do it.
This is one of my most recent, big dreams. So I'm at a graduation ceremony, like a graduation from college, and it's a giant.
Yours?
I was in it. Yeah, I was graduating. And
Ooh,
humongous outdoor extravaganza where the ceremony is taking place. And from far away, it seemed like a mile away, the dean of the school was giving the commencement speech, and he was saying all kinds of nice things about the graduates, as they do, but he kind of had a sinister vibe to him, and he was a little bit like President Snow in the Hunger Games. Did you ever see the Hunger Games?
No, but that's funny. I like that.
Okay, well, he's evil. Donald Sutherland plays him so well, so completely sadistic and evil. So he says, and to honor all the new graduates, I thought I'd give you all one last test. Unleash the wolves. So all of a sudden, there are thousands of angry wolves.
Oh my God.
Rushing towards all of us. And I had this little thought, wouldn't it be funny if all of us graduates took off running? It would be, it would be so embarrassing. We didn't learn anything in our whole time there. But so I was trying to be brave, and as counter-instinctual as it was, I started walking towards the wolves. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I know. Everyone else is running, and I'm walking towards them. But I noticed that I have Shadow, my dogs, and Shadow and Lola with me. I didn't have Priya, just Shadow and Lola. And I thought, oh my God, these
would have been snack food for the wolves. That's probably why.
We would have already taken off. And I thought to myself, these wolves are going to eat my dogs. So, okay, no more of me playing brave. This is about them. So I grabbed them and started running for my life and for their life out to the parking lot. I find my car, and I have my old truck, and I'm putting them in the truck. And instead of getting in the car and riding with it, I'm kind of holding the steering wheel and running alongside of it, because I didn't want to take the time to get in the car, shut the door. By then I thought all the wolves would be on us. So I just wanted to keep going, which was ridiculous.
You were like side saddle with the car. Those side saddle horse things, where you jump on the horse. Yeah, you're that.
Exactly. That's crazy. And I'm driving like a maniac. And next thing I know, I think I've gotten away from them, but I'm trying to find this street in Hollywood that is that represents the safe place. And I don't know if this street actually exists, but in my dream, it was between Sweetser and Crescent Heights. And it's like the street Melrose Place. You can't just find Melrose Place. It's not you have to go in between little nooks and crannies, and it's kind of secret. It's a little secret street. This street was a secret street. And if I could find it, I would be safe. But I couldn't find it. And it had these gingerbread houses kind of a thing. So I'm looking.
right there in that area, though, isn't there a horse? There's like a bar called the Horseshoe or the Horse Bar. There's some kind of bar like that.
Pig and Fiddle?
Yeah. Oh, God, I went there a long time ago. My friend was there, and he peed
The
next
Pig
to
and Whistle?
But go on.
Cat and Fiddle.
No. Something about a horse. I'm sorry. Go on.
Continue. Know about any horses in that part?
It's like right there. It's right where you're
Cattle Ranch? Okay, no. Anyway.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Anyway, I don't find it, but I'm getting close, and I know I'm really close to it, but I'm in somebody else's area, and I kind of am like, oh, sorry. And so that's kind of when the dream ended. All right. So I'll tell you what I did with the dream, and but then I want to go back and see what you think. So all right. So, I went back to sleep because I was like, I have to know why I had this dream. And I was hoping that I'd get an answer from the dream. And the only thing that came to me was I couldn't go towards the wolves because I haven't been trained. I haven't gotten that training yet. That's all I got. So in a meditative state, when I woke up, I thought, well, let me give myself the training. So let me see what would happen if I could fast forward to the point where I knew what to do with these wolves. So I just kind of went time-lapse camera. I know what to do with all these wolves. So I flash forward, end it with me standing where the commencement speech was being given, and that dude is gone, but I'm standing up there, and I'm totally like centered. I've got all the wolves with me, and they're behind me and standing on my side, and they're completely in sync with me. And they're like, they got my back, and they're with me. And in order to have done that, each wolf represented a different aspect of power that I had disowned, that I had to reclaim. And that was my graduation.
Oh my God. Okay, so I think it's amazing that you're even calling it the dream and not like a holy hell terror of a night.
Oh, I called the dream, the title of this dream was Women Who Run from the Wolves.
Oh my God. That's great. That's great.
You know, the Clarissa Pinkola Estes book that was so famous, Women Who Run with the Wolves. Well,
yeah,
I ran from the wolves.
Your own twist.
Yeah. Hello, Tom. Very wolfish sounding.
I'm waiting for that little bike to go by. Do you want to hear what I think?
I want to hear what you think.
Well, if it were my dream. I learned that from a good friend of mine who said, you should always start, if it were my dream.
I know
fabulous. I know, doesn't she? I think at the end, the way you did it, it seems like before you were a lone wolf, and then you joined the pack. And so you had support. And a system of like it's like a blanket around you of protection, and that comes from being part of the pack, and not when you're the lone wolf. That's a whole different ball game. And interesting, because in your dream, like you said, I'm going to try not to be afraid, I'm going to go towards, but then you got protective. And a lone wolf does that. A lone wolf has to think of themselves. They have to think of what's going on with me and how can I maintain my, be protected and all of that. But it's interesting because you had this evil guy, and when you went to fix your dream, he was gone. So it's just, I mean, for me, I'm trying to think of your life and like, why might you have had this particular dream? Did you wake up like how did you feel? Did you wake up like,
oh my God, I woke up freaked out because the dream ended with it not being in like they're about to kill me. Like I had evaded them, but barely. Like I hadn't found the safe street. I just thought it was funny that Hollywood, it made me think like, why was Hollywood, like nobody would ever think of Hollywood as a safe place, like any place in Hollywood.
I would.
I know you would. And I thought
I was like, of course, Hollywood.
Like it's normally not thought of as a nurturing place, but I thought in some way, like if the wolves were like my critics, or they were like the scary, like my wounded self, then there's some part of me that has gravitated to Hollywood to kind of like, if I like it to prove myself or something, or to like, if I could be that, then it's okay. Like there's some place where I like the term compensatory mechanism. Like it helps to compensate. Like I might not have to heal these wounds if I just could be like Hollywood, like that would fix it. And of course it doesn't.
And you know Hollywood, the area, very well, right?
I do.
I mean, don't you know? Yeah. To me, it seems like even though that would be considered the unsafe place, it's interesting that the place that you went to was a place that you're really familiar with, that you do know your way around, that you have navigated in the past, and you came out alive. In fact, you used to want to be an actress, and you were always working and doing this and doing that, and you ended up changing your mind and doing something different, but you came out of it unscathed in a way that a lot of people don't. Some people are so scarred by it, but you were like, that was just a really cool time in my life, and now I'm doing this. You did it in the best way.
I thought it was a really cool time in my life, and it kicked the holy bejeebers out of me in so many ways. Like my ego, my self-esteem. I mean, and it broke me in many places, and I got to heal so many places. And I feel like I have compassion that I wouldn't have if I hadn't gone down that path. Like I wouldn't change anything. And yet it's not where I feel drawn.
It's interesting though, but I mean, to me, even though that happened, and to me, like, being an actress myself, like, it's like, please, that happens to everybody, gets the bejesus kicked out of them. So that's part of it. But the fact that you came out of it in the way that you did. And I've seen people have it kicked out of them, and it sucks a part of their spirit. And a part of them dies. And a part of them just doesn't have that confidence anymore and doesn't believe in themselves anymore. And you, if anything, have even more, and believe in yourself even more, and trust in your heart and trust in your light even more. So it's just interesting. It's so
thank you,
Holly.
Well, it seems like the reason why I wanted to share it is because this is one of the things I'm so passionate about with dream work, because sometimes it's easier to change a dream than it is to change our lives. Like it seems easier. We can suspend our disbelief when it comes to a dream. Like, go ahead, give your dream a new ending. Oh, that's easy. Wave a little magic dust and poof, poof, poof. But when you do it, you do actually change some of the ways that you think. And it made me feel, after I changed the dream and kind of fast forwarded to its natural conclusion, because I believe every dream is a good dream, even the funky dreams. A nightmare is just an unfinished dream. So if you finish it, you'll get empowered. And to me, it's one of the most juicy things that I like to teach people, because you have some directorial input, to use a Hollywood phrase. You're not just kind of on the casting couch hoping somebody will discover you or not hurt you, or I don't know, that was a horrible metaphor. but
no, it was perfect.
Okay, but we can change things. You don't like the way it goes. And okay, I have to admit, I did watch Game of Thrones, and I'm really struck by you probably haven't seen it, but right? Okay.
No.
Anybody who's seen Game of Thrones, you have to know about the Mother of Dragons. So this woman is just epic. She's amazing. And she literally has 3 dragons that are like her children. And she flies around with them on her back, her on their back. And instead of, everybody else is terrified of them, but she's got them. And so I kind of was like the mother of wolves instead of being the mother of dragons. It was kind of that archetype. Anyway, so the little takeaway is, if there's anything that's bothering you, if there's any funky dream that you've got, just, even if it's a real life thing, you can fast forward in your mind to the place where you would imagine that you're empowered and that you got it all figured out and that you've graduated from this, and apply that retroactively. Does that make sense?
When you go, that totally makes sense. And when you go to Kelly Sullivan Walden Dr. Dream on Facebook, when you go to that page, know that she's not just a doctor who prescribes medicine, but she actually takes the medicine herself. She doesn't just say, go finish that dream. She goes and finishes her own dreams, and she sees that it works and that it makes you feel better and that your mind changes and you get that new shift in perspective. And that's why she recommends it. So I think this is a good time for us to sign up because you know her on Facebook. Mine is A to Z, Meryl and me. And you can go to Spiritual Girls in a Material World and go and like us on Facebook and hashtag Spiritual Girls in a Material World and go to nancytelsrow.com and kellysullivanwalden.com and follow us on Twitter. I mean, just do these things because my gosh, what else have you got?
Right, and share your thoughts and your dreams about other things that you would, other topics that you'd like us to cover, or any dreams that you might have that you want both of us to interpret.
Absolutely. Well, namaste and namaste.
Namaste.
Mwah.